It's recording.
All right, over the past 2 days, we've been going over the dimensions of a building and of a fountain. And yesterday, we had you all converting your numbers from Monday for your building increments into numbers that we can use for the number cube. Then we also had you create your dimensions for your fountain. Well, today you're going to figure out basically how much materials you're going to need tomorrow to construct your building and your fountain. And so to begin with, I'm going to go over how you're going to find out how many blocks you need for your building, because you all will come up with those on your own. And this formula is basically implemented version of the surface area, because when you're creating the blocks, like when you're doing surface area, you're basically counting the amount of faces, like cubes on each side. So this is a 3 by 5 by 8. And so like you would count, this would be 5 by 8. So you would count 40 here and 40 here. And then you would say, okay, that's 80 cubes. Well, if you look at this face, you see that it's 3 by 8, and you would count 24 and 24 and add that together. Then with the top and bottom, you would have, it would be 8 by 3 or 5 by 3 here, so that's 15 and 15, which is a much larger number than the amount of cubes you actually have. So on the board, basically is what the formula is going to be to create your building tomorrow. So this is 2 times the length times the height, because you're going to make the faces of your building first. So with your numbers, you'll take your length, which will be how long it is times your height, and you'll multiply it times 2 to get how many cubes you count here and how many cubes you count here. Then for your roof, it'll be plus your length times your height, and you'll go add. I don't know, I won't add that yet. And so now you're basically going to erase this because this is not right. But now you're going to go down to here where you're going to be counting up your sides. And this looks complicated, but all I want you to do is start on the inside and then work your way out. Don't distribute it through. So you have your height times your width, which will be how many you'll count here. So here will be 3 by 8, so that would be 24. And then here, you're subtracting minus 4h because on each corner, these are already going to be on your front face, so you don't need to add those to the amount of cubes you need. So that's why the h is going to represent how many you count up. So I have 8 here, and since I have 4 corners, that'll give me 4 times 8, which is 32. So the number that I got here for the height times width times 2, that's supposed to be 2. And so you'll take the number you got here, which will be your height times your width times 2, and subtract it by the 4 corners. And that will give you how many total blocks you would actually need to construct these middle, like pretty much the middle of it, to figure out that amount. And then for your roof, like you already have the size made. All you need to do is, well, you'll have to figure out the dimensions of the outside. You'll pretty much take the outside, say this is your roof, and on the top of mine is, you're pretty much cutting out all of this and counting, pretty much figuring out how many that is. So you're gonna take your height, your length, times your width, and subtract it by 1 on each side, and find that area of that to find out how many blocks will be in between the corners that you've already made. And then I'll figure out those, like this middle part right here. And so now, I want you to take your dimensions for your blocks from yesterday, and once we get you all those. And as we get these passed out, you'll be able to figure out these dimensions. Oh, that starts soon. That is just one of the And so now, If you have questions with the formula, I'll be coming around to work it out with you, but you're going to give us pretty much, you're coming up with a rough estimate of how many blocks you need to just make a solid surface building without windows, doors, or a roof. Okay. Yeah, tell us to add the cost of that, but if you're gonna have any bricks. Yeah, oh yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Oh, yes, I just finish real quick. Okay, see right here, it says $500 for a brick for 5 years, $850 for 8 years. All that means is that if you use bricks, every 5 years you can spend $500. If you use cement blocks, every 8 years you spend $850. It doesn't matter how many blocks or how many bricks or cement blocks you have. Just that you use bricks, you got to spend less than $500 for 5 years. And if you use cement blocks, spend $40 for 8 years. Or the time spent 40 years.
Do you remember the conversions we made yesterday? You're taking those numbers and you're going, that's what you're inputting into there. You're not inputting 15, 25, and 50. You're going to input 3, 5, and 10. Because you're not going to have a 15 by 25 by 50 foot building to run. We don't have enough cubes for that. Yeah, you divide it with that. And so like now you just input like 2 times 3 times 10. So that'll be your 60 blocks on each side. And then you got so I can make your bag for tomorrow. When y'all need us to check your math, we'll provide you that. They know that I already know. They know these. Yeah, they know that.
I got 60. I got 62. I mean, 60 also. It was that.
That's good. supposed to use the conversion numbers from yesterday. The numbers that we converted yesterday is basically what we used for building. Because if you use your actual building numbers, then we're going to have more building blocks that are standing up to mine instead of building blocks that we can.
Got your numbers up.
Let me see your math. What'd you do?
Here, okay, so our
Length
length,
times height is,
so our length is 3 and our height is 10, which is 30 times 2.
which is 60. You put 100.
60? Wait, height.
60, yeah. Yeah, that's 60. Yeah, 60's right here. You're right. Put your 60 right here. And then now you have height times width, which will be 5 times 10, which is 50, which will be 100. But you're taking out the 4 corners, so that's minus 40. 60, so 60 plus 60, you got 120. So you need 120 for 20. I'll pull it up when it gets close to the guys.
Beer's delicious.
Don't let me forget.
Never had it.
This part.
Remember some friends dad? Giant. It looks like an elephant.
Finish back here. Finish, okay.
No, I've never been here. Where's that?
Oh, find out how much it's gonna cost for whichever one you choose.
Giant, it's red.
So like, for the brick, well, not 84, but like, tomorrow you'll be buying like 84 bricks at that price. For that many bricks. Is that big? 84, not 84.
It'll be an animal.
Maybe 850. Okay, yeah, that's right. So make sure you have that price for that. Because we're gonna total it up.
It's all together. Amen. Good question.
Gotcha.
All mine. Don't ever do that. Oh my gosh, why?
No, that's disgusting. Oh, no, I mean, I don't like it, but I eat it. I like alligator. What else?
She's vegan.
I've been. You have
How is chicken not
Where?
No. Sharks? Sharks. Shark fin? Y'all eat shark fin? Oh, 120.
No, I've never had a shark.
Who's that?
Hey, James.
That's how she got it.
Very good.
Hi,
Gabby?
Kennedy, Leonie,
Yeah, Kennedy wants to raise it.
Rabbi. Come back later. We don't want any Girl Scout cookies. Yeah, I have peanut butter. We don't want any more Boy Scout
Has
cookies.
everybody figured out which one you're using? You all have it.
Kennedy misses you.
Did you all figure out which one you're using between bricks and cement blocks? So how much it's gonna cost for tomorrow?
120 times that.
Oh!
50 times 5.
100, what?
850 times 5.
4,200
Write that down for tomorrow.
4,250.
Look at that block. Find out that final for they figure out which one they're using between the two.
I'll cook your food.
Teachers, please excuse this interruption. At this time, at 10:30, please release any student who is 6th grade middle school letters in A or J last name to the back parking lot. Any student who has a permission slip, please release those students A through J at 10:30 to go to the back parking lot. At 11 o'clock, 6th grade teachers send students who have the last letters of the alphabet K through Z to the parking lot at 11 o'clock. Only the boys and girls who have turned in a permission slip. Thanks.
Don't listen.
Hey, can I have everybody's attention so we can move on to the next step? Before we begin to add on how many windows, how many doors, and everything else, the number of bricks that you came up with your total building is going to be how many bricks that you're going to have no matter what we add to it. Because when you get your windows and your doors, you're going to take out the bricks or the cement blocks that you have and insert a window where you want them, so that it looks like that instead of having windows and doors that are pretty much out of line and not inside of the building. And so now you have a choice between glass windows or rubber windows, and some people have been asking about what rubber windows are, and they're basically fiberglass windows that you can hit and you'll hear a reverb sound off of them, instead of a glass window where you hit it's just one thud and that's it. Like fiberglass windows aren't exactly as easy to break as glass. Like they have oh my god, that's a big word. Let me not use that one. The difference between regular glass and fiberglass windows is that fiberglass windows would take like a serious amount of force you wouldn't fracture it easy as glass. So that's the difference between that. So fiberglass windows are usually used inside of daycares and some schools so that kids can't break them, whereas glass windows are used in school, like older schools where the kids won't try and break or crack the windows. So choose that for your building based on your preference on what you would want inside of it. And we'll move on to the next part once we figure out that.
That's how you get people attention. Ow! Glass? Yeah, let's do glass. Because the last
I'll say rubber, I'm gonna throw it rock.
you can say countries without that. You can say countries with Geico. Don't wait for God.
I'll go with six. My last one, I mean, look, brown.
Mine! Okay, we can use all, why all things?
That's why I'm saying we're windows every year.
What? Oh,
Okay, so rubber windows or window windows?
15 minutes.
No, every year you change them. Like, if I want to use Oh, another thing, with your building smart, you don't have to have just one set of windows. If you want to have multiple sets, you basically just times the price by the amount of sets of windows that you have, because you'll get them in sets of 10. So you can decide now how many windows you want in your building.
It means that you're like, you can't stay in a
And you cannot make the glass building, you have to have cement and concrete.
Yeah, it will
Let's see how we're scared Then I said 2 windows.
Yeah, I'll figure out which one you want. You know how many windows you need? Four. You want to get one set?
Bats.
It's 1,400, and then the last one.
Be in there. We should know how to see it. Get in there.
Guys, you made it. So
Be like Peter Pan.
Hey, hi,
No, 10 windows are in
Per set of windows.
What?
Which I think that you.
Yeah.
So that's the option for y'all for glass.
Option the most expensive one.
What's the best?
3 on the front, 3 on the back, 2 on each side.
And it's one side.
Gotta have to find it.
How many days do you want? Y'all say 10, right?
No, 10. Yeah, so 10, you're 2 on the side, 3 on the side.
You don't want 10?
Mother?
Yeah.
We adopted.
Like 10 windows per.
Who is your father? What's his name?
So like.
Jackie Chan. I'm not
Yeah.
racist.
All y'all agree?
I wait.
It's gonna be completely dark downstairs.
All just
I think you meant there shall be no racism.
Hey, can I get this one for the add-on to the next part? Okay, thank you. So, every building needs to be able to get into, so we're going to add doors to our building. You have a choice between sliding doors and revolving doors, and you'll be able to place them at different points. That's what the pink are on the building. So, choose between sliding and revolving doors. The different types of windows and doors and bricks and all that would be basically the color of your building when we make it. So decide on your windows and, your doors. And also, your roof is basically going to be the color of the bricks that you already bought. But if you want a different color roof like I have on that one, it's just $100 at one time. You don't have to replace your roof every time you do that unless you get it molded. But we're not in that moment of discussing that. But you can choose to a colored roof, and with the multicolored bricks, basically you would have the 2 colors for your class. You'll be able to use both of those colors for your building. Whereas if you choose one or the other, you'll just keep it that color. So now you all have some time to do that.
I want to resolve
You kind of did the split screen. Can you send it to me?
I didn't show it to me. No!
Yeah, you send it. We should play that. So we can
Can we have revolving doors? No!
Straight outside. It comes in a package of 4. I know. That's so weird. None of the softball people can jump off.
No, shit.
Yo, what's good?
What do you want to build dimensions?
You talking about the 3, 5, 10? Oh yeah, just give me 2 left. Okay, do y'all want to color or multi-color?
Multicolor. No, that's just fancy.
Yes!
This market.
No, color.
Y'all want color? No! Why don't Mr. Teacher Marcus? Racist. Do you want colored bricks or multicolored? I do want a white colored roof. That would be fun. So we're getting colored roofs? Colored roofs?
On car.
Raise your hand if you want the standard roof. 1, 2, 3. I doubt.
Hey! You said that.
Do that. Y'all should see.
I mean, you gotta wish you would use it, but you gotta pay for it.
I can't.
What if they have surround sound? There's like showing it like they're beat up.
So like it's like your cat, like, oh, it's gotta break the thing.
I'm just gonna throw some more.
Two
windows on the side, 3 windows in the front and back, and then 1 window on each.
So, actually, what happened total, because I had total of the total of that today.
So that's $800.
What's over like?
All those jokes you make.
Embrace it.
Where?
Take them
Where?
with pride.
All right, please.
That's
Why
bad.
is it going down?
Hey guys, two, up here. All right, so now, once everybody's decided on what door, roof, and type of building they want to color, I need you to total up your total price. And get the official total. I'm coming in each table, and I'm gonna give you an adjustment. And I'll explain what I can to you. So right now I need you to total all your totals, and I'm coming to every table. And I'll give you an adjustment.
You took my shampoo and walk.
Can't go 5 minutes.
I did go 5 minutes.
What's your question?
I'm gonna go 5. Mr. B.
4575.
Mr. B. Billy.
Steven.
Why Billy, bro?
Call Tara.
What time is it?
It is 10.
About 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah, you have a time.
Boy.
He went. I love you, Matthew.
Face one.
Yeah, it was fun. I think you got it. Oh, you do it all. I want to go again. Yes, it is 4,000.
So let's say I tell you have $10,000 to spend. So you have to spend as much money as possible.
Oh, yeah.
Make it bigger.
So you got $10,000.
We can have like a bouncy slide coming out as like a fire.
So basically you can take what I also gave you and basically you can adjust it. And you got to spend as much money as possible.
Add more windows. Two revolving doors.
But Michigan can fit into.
All right, hey, everybody, before Mr. Jackson finishes going by, I'm gonna tell you all about this price at the bottom for the marble and concrete. The final dimensions that you made yesterday, where I told you all you're gonna take a 3x3x3, and you're gonna create it any way you want, taking out blocks the way you want to. Like, it takes at least 24 cubes to make a fountain entirely that we had somewhere, that Mr. Jackson has in his hand. So that's the basic look that it could be, like if you did 3x3x3 all the way around without the opening for the water. However, with this, like, it's gonna be 24 because I'm thinking, whenever you're buying something, you're going to always buy more than you need and then take out based on what you need. So that's why it's on the base of 24. So you all can choose now between marble and concrete and add that to your cost, basically, and then factor in what Mr. Jackson's going around and telling you all.
If you don't have a wrist, you can't have a hand.
I just told you.
You won't have a wrist. What about just cut off your arm? How are you gonna click a pen with a piece of bone? That's what I just told him. I told him you
She's like a robot.
I was looking at. Sorry. Sorry, I was looking at.
Oh, yeah.
How much were the windows? How much were the glasses? $8. Oh,
What's the total cost?
I don't know. United Airlines.
you can't do it.
My turn.
Spell it.
Sidewalk.
Because you should
It
have.
took you so long. You stalled. You stalled so freaking hard.
The one that says semi-final.
INTELLI.
Can I spell it? I-N-T-E-L-L-E. Oh, for the ECT. Okay, there we go. It took me a minute.
Save
Oh, yeah.
whole
I got it wrong that first time. No, he got it right. He just stalled.
SC209, you're up.
That's what's necessary.
78,
How many,
88.
are you this full?
No.
Okay, so how many pieces
I
y'all have?
spelled. No, you already messed
No,
up.
it's my turn.
It's
C. I. N. N.
How much?
Right? 4,000.
I.
What are the dimensions?
M-O-N.
No, no, you're out. You're still out. It's CINNAMO.
Y'all still working?
We're adding. No, we're not. Wait, 4
We added another revolving door.
Okay, where? And then you go.
plus another.
No, all they because it's bonded.
250 plus another set of windows.
So let's say like that.
So we have
No, that'd be close.
4,500.
Okay, can I have everybody's attention so we can wrap up for today? I'm about to just do this one. Alright, everybody, with this is today we were supposed to have the iPads or the Chromebooks out. We would have had you all go onto the site, but the Java wouldn't allow it to. So I'm going to pretty much show you all basically what you all would have done with your sheets on here. So you started off basically by figuring out how many blocks you needed for it, and you lost your total amount. But then you started adding in like your roof, your windows, your door, and all of that. So like if you would have bought a colored roof, you would have went around, you would have took your roof out, and like by the time you took your roof out, you would have took your roof out, so then you would have added a color roof. So say I gave you a yellow roof, you would just have gone around. I'm just gonna sit at the you all would have pretty much gone around and added your roof in, and so on and so forth. And then for your doors, like you would have been able to rotate it. So basically there would have been your color. So then if you like, somebody bought a set of 10 windows, so they would have went around, took out 10 windows somewhere. And then they would have inserted it with the color windows that they picked. And so there's the 10 windows you want, and for your doors, you would have took it up. Like you would have consistently been taking out spaces where you would have been adding a door. Like you would have added your doors there, so you would have added some here. So this was the idea of what was going on today. We just had to improvise and just have you all do basically that the whole time. And so like the beauty of like the cool thing about this was then you would be able to take it and rotate it so that you can see like exactly like what you've done. So like on the inside of the building, you would have been able to see that you did this inside your building. This is where you could have put something in. This is pretty much a simplified way that students can go on and do it, but construction sites have something way more advanced in this where they're allowed to pretty much zoom in, add smaller aspects, but all you would have done today was rotated around, counted how many blocks, like you would have counted actually how many blocks that you had. You would have saw how many blocks you were taking out as you added a window, as you added doors. And as you were adding doors and windows, you would have saw your costs rising and falling. and you would have adjusted it more because you would have seen that you were going over your max because you had too many windows or you were trying to do too much based on how you were doing it. So that's kind of what we're going on with today, what we're going to do. And tomorrow, when you come in, we will have your bags prepackaged with how many blocks that you came up with today. But as the class is going, Mr. Jackson will be the head architect of it all. Like, he will be going around checking you all's work as you're doing it, making sure that you're following your max budget, excuse me, and make sure everything is right. I'll be in charge of having the blocks, and so Mr. Jackson will send one of you all with your request for this many blocks for your windows, your doors, and your roof. You come, you trade them out, and you'll start off with your solid figure. Of course, after you construct that, you'll have to be taking them out and bringing them back to me to sell them back. But thank you for today, and you all did great.
And we can paperize
Yeah, please leave your papers.
All right, stand up, push your chairs, have a great day.